Hopefully I'm doing it right. It says it's recording. Okay, guys, so I just wanted to hop on here. I have my friend Cody on here. Her and I are like sideline sisters. We joined literally, I think Cody joined 3 days after me on Kelsey's team, and we both promoted to diamond like the same month. So she's just been awesome, and she's like one of those people I can go to just like motivate me and lift me up and give me tips and all kinds of good stuff. Cody is a mom, and I know everyone on here has kids. So I wanted to make sure I got a mom on here so you guys could just hear from her, like how her day to day goes, how she works this business, and how she's able to spend time with Liam, her son, all kinds of good stuff. But I'm just going to go ahead and, Cody, I'll let you kind of just give us a brief about your story, like how you got started, and then we'll get into the questions.
Okay, sounds good. So actually, today is my 1 year anniversary with It Works, which is freaking crazy to even say because it's literally flown by. So I joined December 5th, 2016. And when I joined, I've always been someone that's either I'm all in or I'm not in at all. So when I joined, I just honestly just ran. Like I was ignorance on fire. When I joined, I had never even heard of It Works. I never tried any of the products, never. It was just like, it was brand new to me. But I watched Kelsey for about, I would say like a month and a half. And then I was just so intrigued and I was like, I don't know what this is, but I need like to be a part of it. So I ended up joining with her after having a 2-hour conversation with me and my boyfriend, who's a huge skeptic. Like he literally dissected every single thing that you could think of. Like Kelsey, I think, was thinking, who is this dude and why? And like, where is he even coming up with these questions right now? So I promoted to Ruby in my first month and got a $500 bonus. I promoted my boyfriend to Ruby in a month and a half of joining, got his $500 bonus. And then I promoted myself to Diamond. It was like just shy of about 4 months and earned a $10,000 Diamond bonus. And I don't know, it's just been like seriously amazing. And I think that's why the last year has just flown by because it's been nothing but blessings upon blessings. Like, don't get me wrong, it's been very tough. Getting to where I am now was not easy. It took a lot of blood, sweat, tears. Like, you know what I mean? You have to it took a lot of grind time. And just having a 3-month-old, well, he was actually 4 months when I joined. I didn't let that stop me. You know what I mean? Like, that was my motivation, and that's what pushed me to work so hard to get to where I needed to be and where I wanted to be. So I could provide for him and give him like anything and everything he wanted. And it's been amazing because I don't have to be a no mom, and like all the work that I've put in has been nothing but worth it because Liam is able to live the life that I've always dreamed of giving to my child.
I love that. I had no idea that today was your 1 year. I mean, I knew. I was thinking it was the 4th, but okay, that's so.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get right into it, and ask you some questions that the girls came up with, and then I came up with a couple of them myself.
Okay.
So the first one is, how do you manage your schedule with a full-time job, which I think you're kind of go into that if you're working full-time or part-time. And how do you get all your work done and still spend as much time as possible with Liam?
Okay. So starting out when I joined last year, I was full-time working I worked like Monday through Thursday, had Fridays off, and worked every Saturday morning. But the company that I worked for just went under new ownership, and they actually just cut my hours back. So I went from 40 hours a week to barely 25 hours a week at this time, which thank God for It Works, because we would be like literally not surviving right now. I probably would have been evicted from my house. But just managing time is honestly just power hours. Like just getting up and doing a power hour. If I know I have to be at work at 9 o'clock that morning, because I work some mornings, some nights. So I know that if I have to be at work at 2 o'clock that day, then I can get up, a little bit later, because thankfully my son, he's 16 months old, he sleeps in. And so, but when I have to be at work at 9 o'clock, I try to get up around no later than 6:30. That way I can, from 6:30 to 7:30, do a power hour. And then I have a little time just to kind of relax and talk with Dustin, because he usually gets up with me. Like, we hold each other accountable, because he's currently online right now for his master's degree, and he has to get up and do homework. So we hold each other accountable. He gets up, does homework. I get up and work my business. It's just quiet. Sometimes we'll sit in the dining room together. Sometimes I'll sit in the living room. He'll sit in the dining room if I just need that personal self time for my self-development or whatever it may be that I'm working on. But I would just say power hours are really just like my go-to, because I do have a busy life, and I know I can get so much done in an hour if I really just sit down and just focus and work for an hour. Like, it's amazing what you can get done.
Yeah, for sure. So how many power hours do you do like a day?
So it just depends. If I work at 9 o'clock, then I usually am off no later than like 2 or 3. So I'll get up, do one in the morning, and then I'm able to get one in when I get home. Just depending on Liam's nap schedule, but Dustin's he's a stay-at-home dad, so he's really good about just kind of hanging out with Liam and giving me the time I need. Sometimes I'll have to break that second one up into 30-minute intervals, because I'll have to stop to give Liam snack or food or whatever, or I'll just put him in his high chair with me while I'm sending messages and give him like food in his high chair and just let him snack. And then I typically will do one at night when Liam goes to bed about 10:30. Because I like to do messages at night, because it's like a cycle. So if I do messaging at night, I'm waking up to messages, and then I can start my day off with messaging. So it's like a cycle that I always try to continue. That way I'm waking up with something to do. And then during my power hour every
Are you there?
yeah,
Did you go out, or was it just me?
I think it was just you. I don't know.
Okay, it's my internet here. So you said you do one in the morning, you come home, you'll try to fit one in the afternoon, then you'll do one before you go to bed so you can wake up with messages in the morning, right?
Yeah, but like there's days where I work so like if I work like 9 to 3, then I can get 3 in. But if I work 2 to 8:30, I can usually only get one in the morning and one at night. Just because I'm like really scared to be on my phone at work now with the new owners and stuff. Like, I'm not comfortable. Like, before, Dustin, my boyfriend, his mom was the owner, so she was my boss. So she was like, just get what I need done, and then you can do whatever you want. Like, you can work your business. That's fine with me. Just get what I need done. And so now I don't have that luxury. So I've had to adjust a little bit. But I mean, like, I make it work, and I know what I have to get done, and I don't go to sleep at night until everything on my to-do list is checked off.
Yeah, for sure. So do you do like a 6 list? Do you like write goals down, or do you just have them in your head? Like, how do you do it?
So my big thing is I try to set like 3 major goals a day. As in, like, whether it's talk to 1 to 2 potentials on the phone, or schedule phone calls for the next day, or like I'm signing an LC today, or I'm not going to sleep until I do. Like, I set goals like that. So I try to do 3 goals, and then I typically do like 4 non-negotiable. So like messaging, posting, adding, and I mean, like, it changes up just day to day too, like depending on how many power hours I can get in. But I'm always like writing down 3 goals and at least 4 non-negotiables.
I love that. And one thing I forgot to ask you was, do you, like, I know for Kelsey in the evening, she has like 3 hours from 5 to 8 where she's not on her phone. Like, that's just a time that's family time before Mac and
Yeah.
bed. Do you have something like that you do?
I would say mine's probably more like during the day. Go to mom's. Well, hang on. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm gonna like take over my brother's room. I'm at my mom's house right now, and like me and all my sisters, all my nephews, like, we're all here because we all had dinner.
Oh,
Um,
I'm interrupting it. I feel bad.
no, you're fine. We do this like 5 times a week. We're like
Oh,
BFFs, so
okay.
you're good. But so I would say like mine would be more during the day, like around, I would say like late morning after I do that first power hour. If I'm not working, if I don't work till 2, I'll spend that like afternoon with him before I have to go to work. Um, and then typically in the evenings, if I work until 8:30, he's up when I get home still. So I'll spend that last hour, hour and a half with him before he goes to bed. And then I'll put him to bed and then do my power hour.
Okay, so you never feel like you struggle finding time to spend with Liam because of this,
No,
right?
no, I always honestly keep him first because he's my why and he's why I'm doing this. So I don't know, like I just can't, like I'm not going to push him to the side to honestly work my business because I know that I'm going to work my business when he's asleep
Yeah.
or if I'm elsewhere. There's like a lot of Fridays. I don't work Fridays, so I'll get up Friday mornings and I'll go like meet potentials or meet with my team for lunch or like a late breakfast. And Dustin will just stay home with him during that time. So I just always make it work, you know, like if you want it bad enough, like you'll make it work. And that's just kind of the mindset I've always had.
Yeah, I love that. You're like me. We're just very determined go-getters.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my girls asked for tips of sealing a deal with potential. So do you feel like getting them on the phone is working for you? Like, how are you able to sign distributors?
So that's always my ultimate goal. Honestly, like up until probably, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 months, like I was terrified to get on the phone. Terrified. And then I started to do it and I just saw like how much easier it was getting a whole conversation done versus like messaging for a week or a day, 2 weeks, however long that conversation may take through a message, when I can just like get them on a 10, 15, sometimes 30-minute phone call and talk to them about it. And like if you're on the phone, they can hear in your voice your excitement. So like during I personally feel like messaging, people can take things the wrong way. Like you could say something like out of excitement, and they could take it maybe as sarcasm, or I don't want to say like hateful, but kind of hateful in a way. Like I know a lot of people will use like exclamation points for excitement, and some people take that as like you're, I don't know, being demanding and hateful. So, and some people I run into like don't want to give me their phone number, and that's fine. So if they don't want to get on the phone, then I'm like, all right, well then can we just like text or whatever, and I'll just send them voice messaging through text messages if they have an iPhone. If they have an Android, then I'll just text them and then just work on building that relationship to get them comfortable to get on the phone.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's one thing I've been doing a lot lately is just getting people on the phone and like maybe even having Kelsey hop on depending on if they have
Yeah.
kids or not. Um,
Mhm.
but like, you can message people for weeks and get
Mhm.
nowhere. But if you
Yep.
put them on the phone for 10 to 15 minutes, explain everything, answer all their questions, at least
Yeah.
follow-ups. You can be like, all right, girl, like, are you ready to do this? You already have all the information. You have everything you need. Are you ready to do this? Instead of like, okay, what questions can I answer?
Yeah, you can just get to the point and like not beat around the bush. And I don't know, like I'm a very blunt person, so I just kind of lay everything out on the table. And that's one thing I've been doing lately too is just keeping it honest. Like the first thing I do when I start to talk to someone and they're interested, like I will send them like if I'm scheduling a phone call, I'll send them a picture of an income chart. And then when we get on the phone, like I'll ask them like that income chart I sent you, where on that scale would you like to be? And if they say, no matter what they say, I'm like, okay, well, like, are you willing to do what it takes to get there? Like, I'm willing to help you, but are you willing to put in the work and the time that's going to get you there? And it's not always going to be that much work and time because you eventually just build yourself or whatever. But like you have to be consistent. I feel like that's the hardest thing, and that's something I express to them is, like the work is super easy, but I feel like people just struggle with being consistent, and that's where everyone kind of has a setback, myself included, is it's very, like, you just have to be very self-disciplined. And you know, like, if they're not ready for that, then I'm like, that's fine. But I just want to make sure it's a good fit for both of us. Sorry, my phone just told me my phone was about to die. So it like popped up. But like, I'll just tell them, like, and if it's not a good fit for them, like, I'm honest with them about that, because you don't want to invest your time into someone just for them to turn around in a month or 2 months, 3 months and quit. That's draining. It's discouraging. And I just feel like it doesn't only like hurt you, but your team, because I don't know, like, I just feel like, especially if you're like helping your team build and you're placing people under them, and that they're putting time into that person to help train them and help to get them to where they want to be, and then they just quit, then that's discouraging for that person too. So that's, I don't know, like, I've just been super protective of my team lately, because like, I'm going to the top, and I want the people who are going to the top with me. You know, like, I have a family I'm fighting for and a child I'm fighting for. And he means more than like beating around the bush and honestly just bullshitting people. So they join my team.
I agree. Because in the beginning, I was the same way. I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to sign people up. Like, I don't even care. I just want to sign people up. And now I'm like, no, this person would not be a good fit just by the questions they're asking. Like, you can just tell if someone's a good fit.
Yeah, and if like if I can tell they're questioning joining the business, then I'll kind of just gear the conversation towards, well, you know, like, maybe I'll just tell them, like, maybe you should just try some products first, and then, you know, like, falling in love with their products could just like set that passion and fire for you. And then we'll just go that route and sign them up as a loyal customer, and then later on down the road, if they feel like, okay, like, yes, I'm all in, like, I want to do this, I love these products, then we can upgrade their account to a distributor.
I love that. Have you read Get Over Your Damn Self?
No, I just got it in the mail like 2 days ago.
Okay, because that's exactly what she says. That's what Nomi says in the book. She's, she tells people, if she doesn't think they'd be good at the business, she rears them towards being a customer. And then if they don't want to be a customer, she tries to get referrals from them. Like, she'll get referrals from them, and she'll be specific asking people like what she wants in a referral.
Like, I'm really excited to read it. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
I can't say enough. Like, my whole notebook is notes from that, and I've been using I've been using everything she's doing. That's why I've been like getting people on phone calls. Yeah. And this is what she says when she gets people on the phone call. First of all, she said your phone conversation shouldn't be more than 25 minutes, because if they are, then you're just repeating yourself. Like, you're just overdoing it. And she said when you first get on the phone, this is one thing I've been doing, is she says, now, I just want to give you all the information you need and answer any questions you may have and see if this is something that could work for you. I'm not in the business of convincing you to start your own business. I just want to see if this is something that you could benefit from. And then you just kind of go from there, because she said, this is what she said. And I'm like, it makes so much sense. It just makes so much sense. She said, if you feel like you're convincing someone to join your team, stop. Just stop. Yeah. Because if you're going to convince them to be on your team, you're going to have to convince them to work when they get on your team.
Right. And it's draining.
It's draining. Yes. That book I can't wait for you to read it. Like, you'll have to message me when you get through your chapters, and like, we can bounce back ideas. It's so awesome. Okay. Let's see what else. How many people would you say you message a day? Like, do you set a daily like minimum, or how many people do you
say minimum would be no less than 20 to 25, like 20s on a very busy day, 25 like minimum. That's very rare though. I typically like to message 50 total, so 25 potential distributors, 25 potential loyal customers, and then I honestly do follow-ups every day, so I try to do at least 20 follow-ups, so that's adding on to the messages. So I would say, I don't know, close to like 70 messages a day.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, that's like been lately, especially. Like
Yeah.
if I'm like going for a promotion, I do double, triple the work because I know that's what it's going to take to get to where I want to be. So that's just kind of the mindset I have. Like, I'm just like, what do I need to do to get there? And I just game plan and I just go with it.
Yeah. I feel like for the longest time, like after summer was just kind of, I feel like I fell off, and then I got back into it in August, and I was just kind of like trying to find my way, not having a full-time schedule
Yeah.
anymore. And like I was setting my messages at like, okay, I'll message 20, 25 people a day. And that was me for the past like 2 months. And
Right.
I'm like, wait, I can message so many more people than that. Like, I'm setting my standards way too low. I need to tell myself I'm going to wake up and I'm going to message 50 people a day, 50 to 100. Because
Yeah.
even if it's 10 in the morning, 10 here, 10 there, 10 there, instead of just sitting down. Because if you sit down and you're like, okay, I have people, that's really overwhelming. But if you set a goal for like 25 in the morning and 25 in the evening, then that's realistic. I just feel like we set these minimums, or these, short, these like, I don't know. We just don't push ourselves almost. Like we don't
Yeah.
push
Like you
ourselves to
can't.
do more.
And like one thing I've really been trying to do too is like not letting fear get in the way. You know, like when I do my daily goals or my daily non-negotiables, like I think of the first thing that comes to my head, because if I sit there and think about it too long, then I'm going to like think myself out of it, because I'm going to let fear get in the way of like, well, maybe I can't do that much today.
Yes.
I know I can.
Oh my gosh. You saying that makes so much sense, because I'll sit there and you do think. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, how many people am I going to message today?
You just like let these excuses start building. Like, well, maybe I can't do that many because I have to do this and I have to do that. And I'm
Yes.
like, no, like I can do this. And like, there's one thing that I really like, I don't know where I heard it. I don't know if it was like on a self-development video. I don't know. But it was like trying, like there is no trying. Like either you're doing it or you're not doing it. There's no trying.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
there's no in
remember
between. Either you do or you don't.
that. I think that was Sarah Rankin. She was like, you're either in, or you're either all in, or you're not in at all.
Yeah.
But no, that makes so much sense. You just, you've got to.
So like the first number that pops in my head for the day, I'm like, I write it down. And I'm like, all right, that's what I'm doing.
I love that.
That's fear and excuses like blocking.
That's such a good idea. I'm going to start doing that, because I just feel like I underestimate what I can get done in a day. And we can get so much more done than what we tell ourselves that we can do. If we're strategic about it and we plan our days out wisely, we can get it done. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And another way too, like, just to kind of make it fun and like more challenging, because I like challenges. So if I'm given a challenge, I'm like, dude, I'm doing that. Is Dustin has wrote down just random numbers on pieces of paper, like whatever number he thought of, like with 25 being the minimum. And I have to draw out of a hat for that day. And whatever number I get is how many people I message. And that's just like his way of like holding me accountable and giving me a challenge to do.
Oh my gosh, you do that every day?
Not every day. We've just done it a couple times when I'm like, especially I think when he knows like I'm getting frustrated and I'm like feeling stuck, like he'll come up with things like just to kind of help me get out of a funk and just to like make it more fun, because like this business isn't always fun, you know, like it's a business, and I've just always looked at it as a career because it's something that I want to do like forever. You know what I mean? Like quitting is not on the table for me. And so I've just always taken it like a career. So I've always just worked super hard. And like you have those days where things are like you're frustrated and you feel stuck, and so he's like the person I lean on like for everything, and like he keeps my mind straight with my business on those days. So he'll just come up with fun little like challenges for me, like, well, well, what if we just do this? Or, you know, like when you finish, like we'll go to Ritter's and get some ice cream, you know? So like he like gives me challenges and like goals to get to because he knows I like freaking love ice cream. So I'm like, bet. I'll send out 50 messages and we're going to freaking Ritter's. Like, let's do it.
I love that. I love that he's
So,
just an amazing support system. Like, I don't know. I just
it's
feel like
hard without it, honestly. Like, but then like I think to myself when people like don't believe in me, like I'm proving you wrong. Like,
yeah,
like don't even try me because I'm going to show you that I can do it.
Yep, you're so right. I know. Okay, I want to make sure I'm answering all the questions. So how do you stay positive like when things aren't happening? I know Dustin really gets you out of a funk. But like, do you do more self-development on those days, or what do you do?
So, self-development is definitely something that I truly like didn't think would have like an effect on my business until I started doing it. And so the days that like I am having a funk, like I'll just double up on it typically. If I'm listening to a video that day, I'll listen to 2 videos. If I'm reading that day, like I'll read an extra chapter than what I was planning on. So I'll double up on that, or, you know, like I'll just sit down and like honestly just vent to Dustin, like why am I feeling this way? Like what am I doing that what am I not doing that I should be doing? Because he's a very honest person, and like he doesn't sugarcoat anything, and I need that. And I appreciate it. Like when he's saying it, I'm like rolling my eyes and you know what I mean, like getting pissed, but it's because I know he's right. And that's what people do, you know, like when someone is telling you something and you get defensive, it's more than likely because they're right and you know they're right. So I really lean on him, or, you know, like if I'm just having one of those days when I just need more like time with Liam, like I'll just put my phone on sleep mode for like an extra half hour, and when it was nice, like I would go outside with him, or like we'll sit down and read a book or do a puzzle together, you know, or I would take him to the park when it was nicer out, and just because like he just brings my spirits up, you know what I mean? Like just thinking about him, like I get so like, I don't know, just giggity and like just happy because I just love him so much. So just being able to be around him just like lifts my spirits, and it just reminds me too on like why I'm doing this. Like looking at him, like I could almost cry because I'm like, dude, like you're so much more, like you're worth more than getting upset and getting stuck over something that's frustrating. Because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, you're so right. I love, like, I want to cry. That makes me so happy. I know.
No, like I get so emotional, like, and like they say, like if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. And like I'm a very red person with like a little bit of yellow because like I'm super like caring, and especially when it comes to my family, like they're like my top, like even my mom. So just thinking about like my why, like I'm like, okay, like I have to do this for him. Like I don't care what it takes, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I'm very red, but I get very emotional when I think about my family and Adam and our.
Well, if it's like people I care about, like a whole another side of me comes out.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that for sure. And there's just something about being around kids. Like I know Liam's your son, so it's a different feeling, but like when I'm out with my nephews, I'm just happy. Like you're around kids and there's so much life and excitement.
Right.
There's just something
and they're
about
just so innocent. Like
I know.
Like he just does like the silliest things. I'm like, I will literally crack up, and I'm like, dude, you're my best friend. Like you are so like funny, and I don't know. So like just being around family and spending more time with Liam, doubling up on self-development, like that just really like helps me when I'm feeling like stuck or in a funk.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love that. Okay. So I think if anyone else has any questions before Cody hops off, you can put them in the comments. Let me make sure I went through all these. So as far as like interacting with people, do you like do a lot of interactions, or you just kind of like 1 or 2 interactions and then message?
It really just depends. Like, I feel like from people's profile, you can kind of feel them out to see, like if they're super outgoing or bubbly or if they're more like shy. So the people who are super like outgoing and bubbly and have like an amazing profile, you can tell like they're living life. Like a lot of college students, especially, that like I follow on Instagram or even Facebook. Like I'll just send them a simple message. Like on Instagram, I'll like a couple of their pictures, like maybe 3 or 4, and then comment on 2, and then send them a message. And then on Facebook, I usually go through like their profile pictures and like I'll react to a couple of them, and then send them a message and just say like, "Girl, you would seriously be so good at what I do," and that's it.
Yeah.
And then
Not
it
like,
just gets the conversation going, because if they're outgoing and bubbly, they're like, "Wait, what? Like, what do you do?"
yeah.
And then I just tell them like that I don't tell them the company's name at all, and I just try to get that phone call scheduled with them and just bring it up on that phone call.
Wow. Really? What's
Yeah.
your reasoning behind that?
I just feel like people prejudge, and I don't think it's fair, like, to the company or my time, honestly. Like, I want to be able to talk to them and let them know that just because someone said something, it's probably because they didn't work their business, so they weren't successful, or they didn't take their products properly, so that's why they didn't work.
So what do you do when someone's like, what's the company? Because that's literally the question I get every single day. Everyone's like, well, what company are you with?
So I just will typically say, if they ask that question, It Works. Like I'm with the company It Works. Have you ever heard of us before?
Yeah.
And then they say, more than likely lately I've been getting a lot of yeses. So I'm like, oh my God, you've heard of us? Like that makes me so excited. I can't wait to tell you more.
I love that.
Like I just instantly turn it into a positive before they can make it negative.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's so many people who are just prejudging, and it's so frustrating for us because we're different. Like the way we feel and the way we have conversations and the way we post, it's probably a lot different than what they've ever experienced before.
Right.
That's the beauty of being like on our team, and having these awesome leaders to teach us how to talk to people and just be passionate when you're talking to people, instead of just like going through the steps and trying to convince people to be on your team.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Cody. I truly appreciate it. I know everyone on here is super thankful for you hopping on, and
no problem.
I hope you enjoy your night with your family.
Thank you. I'm actually about to take Liam and take him home, put him to bed.
Yeah, I know. It's getting late.
I know. Well, my mom lives about 30 minutes away, so usually by the time we get home, he's asleep.
Yeah.
And then I just put him to bed and he just stays asleep. So
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, girl. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Bye.
That was so awesome. What'd you guys think? I'm unmuting you. Was that helpful?
She actually reminds me a lot of you. Like a lot of the stuff that she said, I was like, I swear Alyssa just told me that.
I know. Guys, I'm serious. Like, Cody and I talk a lot. Maybe like once every 2 weeks, once a month. I don't know, depending. But like when she was talking, I was like, oh my God, I do that too. Wait, I do that too. I'm like, that's crazy. But I feel like it was super helpful. I just like, I want you guys to be able to hear from moms, because I don't have that aspect in my life yet, so I can't relate to that right now. And I just want to get some more on here so you guys can get a feel of how different people work their business, because she works her business very similar to mine, except she just has a kid, and she just puts that into her schedule when she can. A couple things I did want to go over with you guys. Let me see. Okay. So one thing I really want to start doing, at least for the month of December, because I know in January, February, March, this isn't going to be a problem. Not that it's a problem, but I really want to keep each other accountable for like our daily goals. And you know how I've been sending you guys messages about my 6 list? So every morning I've been getting up, and I'm not saying to do this, but every morning I've been getting up at 6 a.m. and doing the power hours with Kelsey and Brittany Landrum and whoever else. They're at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. They've been super helpful because I can't get on the ones in the evening because there's all these Zooms and stuff. So I've been getting up every morning about 5:50, and I've been doing a power hour, and it's just getting a good start to my day. And the last 5 minutes of those power hours, Kelsey's like, okay, I want you to plan your day out. Write your 6 list. And so I've been doing that every day. I've been finding it like I will do these if I write it down. If I just have something in my head and I'm like, okay, I'm going to message 25 people in the morning, 25 people here. I'm going to do, I just have this scramble in my head. I won't do it. But if I have it on a piece of paper and I can physically check it off, like I have to check it off, I won't go to bed until it's done. So like I've been, writing out my 6 list, and I've been checking stuff off my schedule, and I'll even give myself a time. Like this has to be done by 10 p.m. This has to be done. So that's one thing I really want to do in our group chat, at least for the month of December, because December's crazy. And, just getting a 6 list down, or even a 3 list, messaging, adding, posting. If that's all you have time to do, cool. At least get that done. But just kind of keeping each other accountable. And you don't have to say like, oh, I got it done. Just like kind of get on and just tell us what you're doing for the day, or or like if it's at night, tell us what you've done for the day. And then as far as like getting prepped for the holidays, okay, listen, I know this is a special time. Like I know this is my favorite time of the year, and you guys, I know it's probably is for you too. You have kids, and we all have families, and it's just super fun. Like the festivities are starting. They're starting this weekend, and it's going to get crazy. So just kind of getting prepped for the holidays, maybe planning out a couple posts in the evening, 2 or 3 posts. I've been doing that. It's been super helpful because you just never know what's going to happen. And you might think, oh, I'm at my family's house. Like, everyone's going to watch my kids. It'll be good. I'll have time to work. And it's like, well, no, you don't want to work when you're with your family. Like, get your posts scheduled so you can just get them out and then hang out with your family, have a cocktail, like, have some fun with your family. I just don't want this to be a stressful time for you guys. I don't want you to think of the business as, oh, my God, I just got to do this. It's so stressful, and Christmas, and, just setting that list, getting it done early in the morning, even if that means getting up at 6 o'clock and doing a power hour so you can enjoy the rest of your day. I just want you guys to just enjoy this month with your family, but also not feel stressed about not getting what you need to get done. Because I know for me, if I don't get what I need to get done, I'm more stressed than I would be if I would just keep putting it off and putting it off. Like, for me, if I don't get what I need done, I'm just like a bear. Let's see. So use your time wisely. Do power hours. Like Cody said, she just does power hours. For me, since I have the time, I'll just sit down and work my business for a couple hours during the day, and then, respond to messages in the evening. But if a power hour is something that you feel like is that's just going to work for you. And if you're like, okay, I can do 2 power hours a day, solid, do your 2 power hours, good to go. But just make sure you're using your time wisely. So when it comes down to it, you're not like scrambling for a post, or you're stressed out because you didn't get your messages out. And then, kind of like what I said, don't not live your life. Like, don't not live your life because of this business. Just be more, plan and get what you need done. And I think that was it. Keeping each other accountable in our group chat, and I think that's going to be super helpful for all of us, because I know for me, if I send out those goals to someone, like have been sending out to you guys in the morning, it's like, okay, I'm getting those done. I just sent that to my team. I'm not going to not do them now. But that's really all I wanted to go over. Christmas is on a Monday. I don't see us doing a leadership Zoom the week of Christmas. We will have one next week and one the week after that, which would be the 19th. But then the week of Christmas, no. Just spend time with your family. I know my sister's home for like 10 days or something, so just spend time with your family, and we'll just get back together after New Year's. Does that sound good? But we'll have one next week and the week after that. But do you guys have any questions or comments or anything you guys want to talk about, or anything you guys want to talk about from the Zoom? Hold on, Caitlin, hold on, I gotta unmute you. You're gonna have to unmute yourself because I can't.
Got it. I just love what she said about making it positive before they can make it negative, because a lot of people do prejudge, and a lot of them are people who have never been in the business. They've never tried the products. They've just seen what other people have said and jumped on the bandwagon. So I think that making it positive before they can make it negative will be really, really helpful.
Yeah, I totally agree. Just like being excited. If you're just super excited, like exclamation point or sending them voice messages, they're not going to come back at you with something negative if you are that excited. And if they do, they probably shouldn't be in the business anyways, if they're going to rain on your parade if you're that excited about something. But yeah, I loved that, because people do prejudge, and you just got to turn it into positive. And one thing I got from the book, Get Over Your Damn Self, she said, don't get too attached to any conversation. Any one conversation, don't get too attached to it. So if someone's like, people are mean, okay? I've gotten some pretty mean messages, but I don't know those people. Like, I'm not going to let them affect my life and how I treat my husband and how I treat my family and my nephews. And, don't get too attached to one conversation. If you are like gung-ho about someone signing up and they don't sign up, it's all right. Like, there's more fish in the sea. Don't get so attached, and don't like let that ruin your day or your business. Just keep going, and it'll be all right. It'll be all right. If you guys ever need me for anything, or you just want to vent or whatever you need, you guys know you can call me. Like, I'm always here. I know Kelsey's like always calling me, and I'm like, should I be constantly calling all of my girls? Because I feel like that would get annoying, even though I don't care. Like, I love talking to Kelsey, but I'm just like, should I be doing this? So if you guys need me, call me, because I'm free. I'm free. But this went on a little longer than I thought it would. I'm going to let you guys go, but I hope you guys have a good evening. And if all of you who are on here, I'm pretty sure this Galaxy is Brittany. I'm pretty sure. Make sure that you're all posting like at some point tomorrow and the rest of the month, like what you're doing throughout the day. Because I know if the other girls in the chat see you doing it, they'll probably do it as well. And I also recorded this, so I'll post it in the group chat so everyone can watch it. All right, ladies. Good night.
Good night.